So as good as the WRX is at general off-roading and rock crawling, it does pretty good with the 2-inch lift on it. I find myself going down dirt roads and the roads get a little rougher, and there's places that I just can't see myself taking the little rally car. So I decided to buy a Tacoma. So I'm taking a trip to California. Done a lot of tent camping in the past. I decided to buy a Topo Toppers Rincon, I believe the model is, topper for the Tacoma here. So I'm going to drive out there in about a month and pick it up. Been doing some prep work on this Tacoma to get ready for it. Today I'm going to put sealant underneath these bed rails, or bed rail caps, I should say, because apparently water splashes up in here and will run down into the truck bed. There's also this gap around the tailgate, and apparently there's gaps around here that will let water come in. And for even more fun, this comes off, and apparently there's some places in here where you can seal to help keep water from running in. Also supposed to help with the dust. So just to recap, I did have these risers on the front of the seats, but decided I didn't like them. It pushed the seat up, which made the seat pretty comfortable, because I'm tall, I'm 6'1", and but what I found out was this edge of the seat was cutting off the blood flow in the back of my legs, so like my calves would go, ankles would go numb, and just weird stuff was happening if I drove for hours on end. So I put the seat back down, and they've been fine ever since. So I was thinking about raising this up in the back a little, because when you sit down in these, you kind of fall down into the back of them, and they're just not designed very well. But that's a minor issue. The e-taker back there failed miserably the first go around. I eventually talked e-taker into sending me a replacement. Their tech support on their website, which they tell you to go use, was worthless. All they kept telling me was how to pair it with my phone and update the firmware. And I'm like, well, it won't pair with the phone. That's the whole problem. It worked fine for about 2 weeks and then died. So I got on Amazon's website and messaged the seller directly, and they sent me a new one. And it was the e-taker official Amazon seller, so I'm assuming that it's e-taker, unless somebody spoofed the official seller, which is possible. Who knows? A few other things. I put this little, I don't know, ruby grid. It works okay. It creaks a little. I don't know if you can hear that or not. Minor annoyance. But I got a tablet that I stick right here and use like OnX off-road when I need to. That's about it. Stock truck. Haven't lifted it. The reason I went with the Topo Toppers Rincon is, well, there's several reasons. It was the cheapest one that fit my needs. It also has great reviews. One of the other reasons is this garage here. I'm, height limited here. So the Rincon, the Topo Toppers Rincon, if I measured everything correctly, will have an inch, leave me with an inch of clearance when I pull in the garage. So we'll see how that works out. I would like to put some bigger tires on here, like maybe an inch or two taller. So if it fits with an inch clearance, I might be able to just put some bigger tires on there. I can always let the air out of the tires a little when I pull it in the garage if I need a little extra clearance. It's just so nice to be able to pull the truck into the garage to work on it. This just pulls off, I believe. Like so. And you can see all these holes. You can see where the dust has been accumulating here as well. So dust can probably get in there. But what we'll do is we'll run a bead of sealant all down through here to keep that from happening. So that's what's on the agenda for today. I also have a tailgate seal kit, which fills in all these gaps here, which I'm going to take a look at it. Not sure if I'm going to install it now or wait until I get out to California. I'm going to take a trip here in about a month. Leave to go to California to pick up the topper. Drive 3,000 miles across the country from the East Coast to the West Coast. And kind of excited. Planning on spending about maybe 6 weeks on the road, just camping and traveling around and seeing the sights. So come along. Happy to have you on the journey. So finish pulling this off, hopefully without breaking anything. All right, nothing broke. Sometimes when these get older, they get a little bit brittle, and then you'll end up breaking stuff. All looks good. So I'm going to get a rag with some alcohol and clean that off. Go ahead and do the other side while I'm out here. Oh, and while I'm disassembling it, might as well do the cab rail too. Oops. Help if I put the bit on the end of the driver, wouldn't it? Too far to reach.
In case you're wondering, it's a T30 Torx bit. Okay, so that did have a little bit of a sealing foam on it, but I can also see where dust has been getting in through here, so it's good that we took this off, put a little extra bit of sealant there. Now somebody said that you should take these rails off too. But from what I'm seeing, I don't think any moisture can get in through there. I can see, I don't know if I can show you with this camera or not. It's not easy to see on this side. But on this side, I can definitely see some foam sticking up here. A little bit of foam there. So this has foam underneath of it. I'm going to leave it. I don't think any dirt's going to get in through that. Alright, so I'm going to clean this dust off. Oh, let me take the tailgate off, because you can see that pulls up. Yeah, that's definitely a place where water could get in. Yeah, and we'll take the tailgate cap off, because this lifts up. Water can definitely get in there from the outside. And if water can get in, you know dust can get in. Yeah, I'm kind of excited to get this Topo Toppers cap on here. I've done a lot of, tent camping in the past, and when you're looking for dispersed campsites, it's always, you always have to get there early, or you risk not having a campsite. People show up earlier and they'll take all the sites and you got nothing left. So then what do? Well, you got to drive around, and you either have to go find a hotel, or you have to drive around, try to find a place to set up a tent. Where if you have like a camper top or a van, you can't just find a parking lot somewhere and at least get some sleep. I'm hoping this just pulls off.
Alright, so I took all these screws out. Oh, there we go. I was gonna say, I was hoping this just pulls off. Yes, it does. Alright, that's what that looks like. And you can see holes and dust. So, a rag with alcohol. Alright, so I just got a old t-shirt and a bunch of alcohol. Actually, I probably should have just washed it off with a hose first. Well, that'll work. I see a couple spots where paint is worn through and it's rusting, so I'll touch those up. And I'll go ahead and clean the spots in the bed gaps where the tailgate seal goes.
Alright, so now I've got the rails all cleaned up, and it's time to throw some caulk on them. I'm sorry, adhesive. Throw some adhesive on them. So I think what I need to do is run this bead as close to this edge as possible, because I just want to isolate the inside area from anything that could come up through here. Don't necessarily want to seal these in, because you still want these to be able to vent a little so that water can dry up if it gets up in there. That's the thinking anyways. Okay, that went well, except I got stuff on my hands.
Hey,
How are you?
good. How are you?
Good.
All right. I think if I just seal it along the top here, all across here, that's a drop edge. So if I do it beyond this drop edge, see this has a bigger gap here. I don't know if you can see this or not. This has a larger gap that would need to fill. But if I do it up above this part where it drops, if I do it up above, like up here instead of down here, I can use less material and it should seal just as well. We'll try that. The tailgates are easy to redo because the cap doesn't actually sit on the tailgate. So if I screw it up, I can fix it later. I think that's got it. I think I'm going to leave the tailgate seal off until I get the topper, because I don't want to turn the bed into, like a hot tub until I have a top on it. I want the water to be able to drain out. So the tailgate seal will be the last to be installed. So you can see here, not sure how well, you can see where the adhesive has oozed out a little bit right there, and that's perfect because you can see that I put a thick enough bead that when I push this down, it squashed it all up into the nooks and crannies, and I'm confident that that will be a good seal. So for these corners, I had to get a little creative and just shove a bunch of sealant into them because the gaps don't really match up. That black piece of metal is really hot. Okay, had to take a break to get the adhesive off my hands and my screwdriver. Okay, the final step. There's a little gap right here between the side bed rail and the cab bed rail. Just have to fill that. And we're done. So that's my attempt at sealing up the bed. We'll see how it works when I actually get the cap on there and get into some rain and see what happens. Getting excited. About a month to go till I take off. So yeah. Feel free to come along with me on the trip. I'll try to make a video every day maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not going to stress over it too much. So yeah, come on, follow me, see the trip. So yeah, subscribe if you want, and I'll
I'll post videos as I make this journey to go get the Topo Topper. You know, in case you guys are interested in buying one, you can see what it's all about. I got on their website, maybe 3 or 4 months ago, bought the Rincon, and you pay them a $500 deposit down payment, and they'll contact you after, I think it was a month maybe. They got the materials, and then they'll send you a bill for like half of it. So you pay for the materials and everything, and then for them to start working on it. And then, I don't know, a month or two later, they sent me an email saying they had a pickup date. And then I think 2 weeks before you go to pick it up, they'll bill you for the other half of it. Or I think you can take the payment out there, you know, like a cash or cashier's check, and pay them in person when you pick it up. I think they have that option available too. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. So yeah, come along for the ride if you like. Subscribe, and I'll keep you guys updated. I'll see you next time.